In a world where silence often speaks volumes, the true secret to attraction isn't in pursuit, but in a steady, confident retreat. Here's the hard truth. Women don't desire a man who chases them. They're drawn to a man they need to chase. They're captivated by someone who commands respect without demanding attention. The moment you start pursuing, you tip the balance, dulling the very intrigue that caught her eye. But what if you could turn this around? What if, by embracing Stoic virtues like self-mastery and detachment, you could completely shift the dynamic, making her work to be part of your life? We've been led to believe that endless effort will secure affection. Yet the reality is, the harder you try, the faster she pulls away. Think about it. How often do countless texts, extravagant dates, and lavish gestures end with her growing distant? Value thrives in scarcity. When you're always available, the allure fades. Now, imagine becoming the challenge she's eager to win over, simply by taking a step back. Let's explore this transformative mindset, tapping into Stoic wisdom to cultivate an air of intrigue and desirability. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insights on shifting the scales in your favor. Let's dive in and redefine what it means to truly captivate. Number 1. Understanding what caused her to pull away. Ever wonder why she's suddenly distant, leaving you questioning everything? Let's be clear. This isn't a random twist in your story. Women don't just pull back for no reason. It's all about balance, a subtle dance of attraction, and most importantly, power dynamics. When she senses that she's holding too much sway over the relationship, attraction naturally begins to fade. And it's not because she's heartless or playing games. It's deeply rooted in human nature. When something or someone becomes too easily available, the desire to earn it dwindles. You see, if she feels like you're constantly there at her beck and call, no mystery, no space, she starts to lose interest. You may think being overly attentive or always ready to respond is a way to show your commitment. But in reality, you're chipping away at the very thing that made her intrigued by you in the first place. The allure of someone with boundaries and self-respect. Let's dive deeper. Women often test men, consciously or not, to gauge their level of confidence and independence. These tests usually come in subtle ways. She might respond slower to texts, seem colder, or appear disinterested. These moments are her way of determining if you can hold your ground or if you'll scramble to fix things the moment she pulls back. When you jump to appease her, it signals that she controls the relationship. And that's when her attraction drops. Consider this. Maybe you've been seeing each other for a while, and things seemed smooth. Then out of nowhere, her replies start taking hours or even days. At first, it's easy to brush off, but soon it becomes a pattern. You're tempted to respond with a text that shows your concern, or perhaps you're planning a small surprise to rekindle her interest. But here's the Stoic perspective. You're overlooking the deeper shift in dynamics. It's not about chasing her or trying to bring things back to the way they were. It's about creating space and allowing her to feel the contrast of your presence and absence. When you don't always fill in the gaps or rush to close the distance, she's left with the awareness of what it feels like to miss you. By resisting the urge to over-communicate or fix things right away, you're essentially resetting the power dynamic. You're communicating, without words, that your value doesn't hinge on her immediate approval. You're showing that you're confident enough to let things breathe. Think of this as a rebalancing of sorts, where you're giving her room to come to you. When you avoid that instinct to chase, to call, or to text, you're reinforcing your own value. And this is where true attraction, built on respect and independence, comes back into play. She begins to remember the allure of your presence because it's no longer guaranteed, no longer predictable. Number 2, mastering emotional detachment. Now that you've begun to understand the reasons behind her pulling back, let's talk about one of the most transformative moves you can make: emotional detachment. Imagine for a moment the power in no longer being at her every beck and call, in no longer reacting to each subtle shift in her behavior. By pulling back emotionally, you give her the space to feel your absence. And believe me, that space is powerful. It creates a vacuum where she starts to realize what it feels like when you're not there, right by her side, at the touch of a button. Here's the real truth. When you stop caring so intensely, she'll start caring even more. And no, this isn't about manipulation. It's about restoring balance and commanding respect in silence. Emotional detachment is a game changer, but it's where most guys stumble. Why? Because they fear that showing less interest will drive her away for good. But here's the paradox. The moment you stop being overly available, stop seeking her approval, and let go of the need to react to everything she does, that's when your attractiveness skyrockets. Think about it. How many times have you wanted something even more because it was just out of reach? It's human nature to value what we can't easily have. The same principle applies here. When she senses that you're no longer hanging on her every word or every post, she feels the shift. And that's when she starts to take notice. Let's get real. This isn't about throwing a tantrum or playing hard to get. It's about embodying a state of calm detachment. When she pulls away, your response should be steady, almost indifferent. No need for texts or calls, no need to check her Instagram stories or engage with her posts. You become a ghost, letting your silence do the talking. Why? Because sometimes silence speaks louder than words ever could. When she doesn't get that instant response from you, she's left with a space to wonder, to question if she's made the right move, to wonder if maybe you've moved on or met someone else. This is when the tables start to turn. In today's hyper-connected world, emotional detachment is almost revolutionary. With social media, texting, and FaceTime, people are just a notification away, which makes it rare to actually feel someone's absence. But when you stop reacting, stop engaging, and simply step back, she'll feel your absence like a void that's impossible to ignore. Suddenly, every post, every update she shares becomes a reminder that you're not there to witness it, and that small emptiness can drive her to realize what she's missing. When you pull back and show you're completely unbothered, you're communicating something essential, that your happiness and self-worth aren't tied to her approval or her presence. That confidence and self-respect are magnetic, and it sets you apart as someone who doesn't chase, someone who values his time and energy. In your absence, she starts to question her choices, and that's when her own feelings come into play. It's about establishing a respect that no amount of words or actions can force. Only a cool, calm detachment can make that impact. This is the paradox of attraction. The more you hold back, the more space she has to come toward you. Embrace emotional detachment as a tool not just to shift the dynamics, but to remind yourself of your own worth. Your silence becomes an invitation for her to recognize what she might be losing. And in that recognition, she'll come to see you as someone rare and valuable, someone who can stand strong, even if it means standing alone. Number 3, how to avoid common pitfalls. Picture this. She's pulled away, hasn't texted, hasn't liked any of your posts, and seems to be completely off your radar. Most men panic in this silence. They can't handle it. And that's where things start to unravel. They think, just one text to check in won't hurt. Or, I'll drop a comment on her post to stay on her mind. But here's the hard truth. Every small action you take in this moment chips away at the very ground you're standing on. It tells her you're still thinking about her, that you're feeling the distance. And that's all it takes to shift the balance of power back into her hands. Let's take this a step further. Say she posts a new picture, looking incredible, maybe with a touch of allure that's hard to ignore. It's easy to feel that tug, the urge to hit like or comment on her beauty. But here's what you need to understand. That's precisely what she wants. She's casting the line, hoping you'll bite. The moment you give her that reaction, that little bit of validation, you're revealing that she still has a hold on you. She knows that she can get your attention anytime, with minimal effort. Now, here's why this approach doesn't just affect the surface, it cuts deep. When you engage with her on social media, even in subtle ways, you're giving her a boost of confidence without her doing anything to earn it. She gets to feel desired, wanted, and empowered, while putting in no effort to earn back your interest. She's essentially feeding off your attention, and all the while, you're becoming less of a mystery, less intriguing, and less of a challenge. That's why it's so critical to resist that urge. So, what's the play? Complete silence. No likes, no comments, no DMs, no accidental sightings at mutual hangouts. Let her feel the emptiness. Let her question why she hasn't heard from you. Let her scroll through her notifications and realize there's one person missing, you. When you withhold that validation, you shift the focus. She starts to wonder, why hasn't he reached out? Or, is he over me? Suddenly, the tables turn, and now she's the one pondering your absence. When you choose silence, you're not just ignoring her, you're reinforcing your value. You're teaching her that she doesn't automatically get to occupy your thoughts. And in doing so, you're giving her a reason to miss you, to see you as the one thing she no longer has control over. Let the silence do the work. Let her come to you when she realizes the strength you possess in walking away. Number 4, making her realize your absence. We're stepping into one of the most powerful strategies in your arsenal, the no contact rule. This isn't just about going quiet, it's about creating a complete absence that shakes her understanding of the relationship. For the next 30 days, you don't reach out, don't text, don't call, don't even leave a subtle like on her social media. You become a ghost. Why? Because this kind of silence isn't just about you stepping away. It's a move that profoundly shifts the balance of power. When she realizes you're not there to keep the connection going, it flips a switch in her mind. She starts to notice the empty space where you once were, and that realization is powerful. Here's where things get interesting. Women, whether they're conscious of it or not, often expect a certain level of pursuit. They're accustomed to men who can't handle the silence, who will reach out, try to check in, and keep the conversation flowing. But when you don't do any of that, it disrupts her entire sense of control. She's no longer the one holding all the cards. Now, she's on the receiving end, wondering, what's he up to? Did he lose interest? Has he moved on? This isn't about playing games. It's about resetting the dynamic, showing that you have enough self-respect to create space for yourself. For the next 30 days, you are entirely absent. No texts, no calls, no indirect likes or comments on her posts. And here's the hard truth. This will be challenging. Most men struggle with the concept of no contact because deep down they worry, what if she forgets me? What if she moves on? But understand this. The longer you stay silent, the more profound her realization becomes. The absence is what drives her curiosity, What makes her start to miss your presence? When she can't see what you're up to or who you're with, it creates a void, a powerful space that only her own mind can fill. Consider how connected we are today, how used to instant responses and constant visibility we've become. Social media, messaging apps, there's always a window into someone's life. So when you go dark, you create an unfamiliar emptiness that she's not prepared for. She can't scroll through your latest posts, can't see if you're with friends or out somewhere new, and that silence becomes an unsolvable mystery. She'll feel that absence deeply, wondering where you are, who you're spending time with, and what's filling the gap that she once occupied. And here's the real power of no contact. Curiosity turns into action. At first, she may just wonder, but as days pass and the silence continues, it gnaws at her. She'll start replaying memories, recalling conversations, and more importantly, questioning what went wrong. This is what no contact does. It places you at the forefront of her mind, making her question if she's truly ready to let you go. And eventually, that lingering thought builds until she feels compelled to reach out. Number 5. Staying focused during the pullback. One of the biggest traps guys fall into during no contact is waiting around, anxiously checking their phones, counting the minutes until she texts back. But here's the thing. No contact isn't about sitting in limbo. It's about shifting all that energy back to where it belongs, on you. This period of silence isn't a waiting game. It's a golden opportunity to invest in your own growth and to emerge stronger than ever. So, what should you be doing instead of obsessing over her? Dive headfirst into self-improvement. This is your time to hit the gym, hone your skills, work on your career, pick up a new hobby, or expand your network. Every day you spend focusing on becoming the best version of yourself is a day you're not only regaining your own power, but making yourself more attractive in ways you might not even realize. When the time comes and she reaches out, you don't want to be the same guy she pulled away from. You want to be a transformed, elevated version of yourself. Stronger, more confident, and undeniably magnetic. This isn't just about making her miss you. It's about leveling up your life so that when she does come back, you're someone she has to work to keep. Think about it. Some of the most successful men in the world have experienced setbacks, heartbreaks, and losses. They took that pain and turned it into fuel to reach new heights. They didn't let their obstacles define them. They used them as a stepping stone to become better. And that's exactly what you need to do right now. This pullback is your opportunity to become more disciplined, more skilled, and more resilient than ever before. Imagine the impact when she sees that you haven't just moved on, but moved up. You've built a life that's full, dynamic, and brimming with potential. That's when the tables turn. She'll not only see what she's missing, but feel the desire to be part of this new, powerful chapter you've created. You've gone from being someone who chased her validation to someone who is his own source of strength and confidence. This time of silence is a gift, and the biggest mistake you could make is wasting it. Rather than counting the days until she reaches out, spend each day building yourself up. When she eventually sees that you've transformed into a man with drive, purpose, and ambition, she'll realize just how much you've grown. And she'll feel drawn to this new, elevated version of you. Remember, this journey is about more than winning her back. It's about winning yourself back. The more you invest in your own growth, the more you'll find that your value comes from within. This way, regardless of whether she returns or not, you've become the man you're proud of. The man who doesn't just wait around, but takes action to create a life that's worth living. And when she sees that life, believe me, she'll want to be a part of it. Number 6, transforming pain into unstoppable power. Heartbreak hurts, there's no denying that. But it also holds a unique power, one that, if harnessed right, can propel you further than you've ever gone. Every pang of longing, every urge to reach out, every sting of rejection, that's fuel waiting to be burned. Most men fall into the trap of letting heartbreak define them, spending days replaying memories, drowning in self-pity. But here's the truth. This pain can be your greatest weapon. Heartbreak doesn't have to break you. It can build you into something greater than you ever imagined. The choice is simple. Let the pain defeat you, or let it shape you into the strongest version of yourself. Imagine this moment as a crossroads. You could sit there, scrolling through her social media, dissecting every message, wondering where you went wrong. Or you could choose to take all that energy and channel it into something transformative. You could start pushing yourself in ways you never thought possible. This is the moment where most men give up, but you're not most men. This is your chance to prove that you can turn pain into power, that you're capable of transforming heartbreak into motivation. Every time you feel the urge to reach out, take that as a cue to double down on self-improvement. Hit the gym harder than ever before. Dedicate yourself to your career. Pick up a skill you've always wanted to learn. Each time you redirect that urge, you're building a new layer of resilience, confidence, and strength. When she sees what you've become, believe me, she'll regret ever pulling away. But here's the twist. By the time she realizes it, you'll have become someone so high value, her opinion will no longer hold the same weight. This isn't about revenge or proving anything to her. It's about becoming the best possible version of yourself. You're not leveling up to win her back. You're leveling up to win at life. Look around at some of the most successful men in history. From athletes to business moguls, many of them experienced intense setbacks, heartbreaks, and losses that could have crushed them. But they didn't let it stop them. Instead, they used that pain as rocket fuel to catapult them to the next level. This moment of heartbreak can be that catalyst for you. When you feel that void, don't waste time binge-watching shows, scrolling aimlessly, or trying to fill the emptiness by chasing new distractions. Instead, focus on creating a life that is rich, fulfilling, and fueled by purpose. Each hour spent feeling sorry for yourself is an hour lost, a missed opportunity to move closer to your goals. Rather than thinking about what's gone, think about what you can accomplish right now, today, to build the future you want. True success isn't about making her miss you. It's about building yourself into someone so strong, so high value, that her leaving no longer has the power to break you. This heartbreak can either become a scar or a stepping stone to greatness. Remember, women often circle back, but by the time they do, you'll be standing so firmly in your new life, their validation won't matter. This is how you take control, how you transform, and how you turn the pain of heartbreak into the fire that drives you forward. Use this pain as a launching pad. The only revenge you need is to build a life so full and satisfying that her memory becomes a distant chapter in your story of growth. This is your opportunity. Don't waste it. Take every ounce of that pain and pour it into building the man you're destined to become. And when she sees who you've become, it'll be clear. You've won, not just in love, but in life. Number 7, becoming unshakable. To become emotionally bulletproof, you must be grounded in who you are and what you stand for. Because when you're emotionally strong, you stop seeking validation from others. and you naturally become more attractive, not just to women, but to everyone around you. Emotional strength is the bedrock of every successful relationship and every achievement in life. Without it, you're easily swayed by opinions, moods, and the actions of others. But when you build this strength, you become resilient, able to rise above the push and pull of daily interactions. Think about it. Without emotional strength, every test or pullback from her feels like a personal jab. Each time she pulls away or tests you, it shakes you to your core. But when you're emotionally grounded, these moments roll off like water on rock. You become the kind of man who doesn't allow anyone to dictate his feelings or actions. And this stability is a powerful key to attraction. Women are instinctively drawn to men who can stay calm in the storm, who don't get rattled by emotional ups and downs, who hold their ground even when things feel uncertain. To build this emotional strength, start practicing detachment, not just in your relationship, but in every area of your life. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop reacting impulsively. It's about staying steady and composed, no matter what's happening around you. Her mood swings, moments of silence, or even her distance don't dictate your inner state. Instead, you remain calm, centered, and unaffected. And here's the magic. When you become this unshakable presence, you turn into the man she can lean on, the constant in her life. You become the rock, the stable force that brings balance to the relationship. Consider some of the most successful men in the world. They don't crumble under pressure or let small obstacles throw them off track. They stay calm, focused, and resilient, even in the face of adversity. This same principle applies to relationships. When she tests you, when she withdraws or becomes emotional, you stay grounded. You're no longer reacting to her moves because your value doesn't come from her approval. It comes from within. So, next time she pulls back or challenges you, take a deep breath and resist the urge to react. Don't blow up her phone. Don't try to patch things up immediately. Instead, stay calm, focus on your own growth, and let her see that her behavior doesn't hold sway over your emotions. This is what separates the men who succeed in relationships from those who struggle. Emotional strength is your armor, your shield, and once you master it, no one, not even the woman you love, will have the power to shake you. Number 8. Let her miss you. The secret to making her miss you? It's simple. Stop giving her attention. When you pull back, when you cease validating her, you create an emptiness that's hard to ignore. In a world where everyone is constantly connected, your absence becomes the loudest message you can send. She doesn't miss you when you're always there, always accessible. But when you go silent, you allow her to feel the void left in your place. That's when she starts missing you. Think about it. Women, especially today, are surrounded by endless validation, likes, comments, messages from guys, compliments everywhere. But in that sea of attention, your silence becomes the signal that breaks through the noise. When you go silent, she starts asking herself questions. Why isn't he reaching out? Why isn't he reacting to my posts? That mystery alone creates attraction. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, but it's also true that absence makes the mind race. Picture this. You've been the guy who always likes her photos, leaves comments, responds to her stories. You thought this was showing interest, but in her eyes, it made you just another guy in the crowd, vying for her attention. But when you suddenly stop engaging, no likes, no comments, no reactions, she notices. Your silence feels stark against the usual attention she receives, and that quietness becomes powerful. The less you give, the more she values each bit of your attention. When she realizes that the validation she's used to is no longer there, her curiosity and desire intensify. Imagine she posts a story with friends, laughing and having fun. Normally, you'd comment, maybe send a quick, "Looks like a great time." But this time, silence. No reaction, no view. Now, in her mind, she's wondering, did I lose him? Has he moved on? That uncertainty plays in her mind, creating a kind of tension that's magnetic. And every moment she doesn't hear from you, every post that goes unnoticed, makes her feel the weight of your absence even more. If she starts posting thirst traps or cryptic messages to get your attention, remember, stay cool. Don't engage, don't react, don't give her the satisfaction of knowing you've seen it. By holding back, by letting her feel that you're no longer so accessible, you stand out. Your lack of reaction, in a world that lives for constant validation, will start driving her to think about you in ways she didn't before. She'll begin to feel your absence deeply and wonder what changed. Here's the key. It's all about flipping the script. Everyone else is constantly connected, constantly in her notifications, but you're not. You've stepped back, creating a space where she can actually start to feel the distance. Now, you're not just another notification in her feed, you're the silence she can't ignore. And that silence? It's the strongest tool in your arsenal to make her miss you, to stand out as someone who doesn't chase, but instead lets her come to you. When she realizes that she can't simply reach out and reel you back in as before, that you're no longer part of the noise, you've created something powerful. You've become the mystery she wants to solve, the person she starts to miss without even realizing it. And in that quiet, you've managed to capture her attention more deeply than any message or like ever could. Number 9. How to respond when she reconnects. When she finally reaches out, this is your moment. Don't rush back into the old dynamic that pushed her away to begin with. Instead, stay calm and collected. This is your chance to show her that you're different, that you're not the same guy who used to wait eagerly for her messages. Keep things short, keep it confident, and let her feel that if she wants your attention, she'll have to earn it. The key here is to avoid seeming too eager. Here's the truth. When she reaches out, she's likely testing the waters. Maybe she misses you. Maybe she's curious. Or maybe she's looking for validation. Whatever the reason, the worst thing you can do is respond immediately with a lengthy, emotional message. That kind of response would show her that she still holds the power. Instead, remain composed and let her see that you're doing just fine without her. Your calmness and self-control convey that she'll have to work for your attention. Imagine she sends a casual message like, "Hey, how have you been?" Resist the urge to reply right away. Give it a few hours, even a day. When you do respond, keep it brief and composed. "Hey, I've been good. Busy with some projects. How about you?" Notice how this response is confident and to the point. You're not giving her emotional leverage. You're showing that you're busy, focused, and moving forward with your life. This leaves her wondering whether she still has a place in your world. By delaying your response and keeping things short, you're signaling that your life doesn't revolve around her anymore. She'll start questioning. Has he moved on? Is he seeing someone else? Why isn't he as eager as before? This uncertainty is exactly what you want to create. It keeps her intrigued and makes her realize that she no longer has control over you. Now, here's the critical part. Avoid slipping back into old patterns. It's tempting to want to pick things up quickly, especially if she seems interested again. But remember, this is about resetting the power dynamic. Let her come to you. Let her work to regain your attention. Respond when necessary, but keep the focus on your own life and goals. Suppose she proposes a meetup or says something like, "We should hang out sometime," or "I miss you, let's catch up." Instead of jumping at the invitation, keep your response measured. Say something like, "Yeah, maybe. I've got a lot going on this week, but we'll see." This keeps the control firmly in your hands and shows that she's no longer your top priority. You're letting her know that if she wants to see you, it'll have to be on your terms and fit into your schedule. Here's why this works. Women are naturally drawn to men who have purpose and direction. When she sees that you're not dropping everything to be with her, it sends a powerful message. You're focused on yourself, and she's not at the center of your universe anymore. This reversal in the dynamic makes her want you more, because now she has to earn your attention again. And it also makes you more attractive, as you've shown strength and independence, traits that are deeply appealing. Even if you've missed her and thought about her, keep those feelings to yourself. Don't reveal that. Maintain your composure and stay on your self-improvement path. She should see a new version of you, a version that doesn't need her validation to feel complete. This isn't just about winning her back. It's about showing her and yourself that you're stronger, more independent, and in control of your life. The man she reaches out to now isn't the same one she left. You've leveled up, and if she wants back in, she'll have to prove she's worth your time and attention. Number 10. Becoming the man she respects. So, she's back. But this time, things are going to be different. You're no longer the guy who's waiting at her beck and call. The power dynamic has shifted, and if she wants to be in your life, it's going to be on your terms. This isn't about playing games. It's about setting boundaries and ensuring she understands that the person she walked away from has evolved. You're a different man now, one who respects himself and expects the same from others. When she reaches out, resist the urge to just welcome her back like nothing happened. This is a pivotal moment to reset the tone of your relationship. She's going to expect the old you, the one who was always available and endlessly accommodating. But now, she's met with a man who values himself first and foremost. She'll need to earn her way back into your life, and it starts by showing you the respect you deserve. Here's the key. When she returns, don't hand her the same access she had before. If she used to be your main priority, that's no longer the case. She's going to have to prove her commitment and respect for your boundaries if she wants that privilege again. Communicate these boundaries clearly but calmly. Let her know, without aggression, that things have changed. You're in control now. And if she wants to be part of your life, she's going to have to meet you at your level. Imagine this scenario. She reaches out and asks to meet up. In the past, you might have dropped everything to make plans. But now, keep it cool. If she asks to hang out, let her know you're busy and we'll get back to her when you can. This isn't about being dismissive. It's about showing her that your time is valuable and that you won't be available on demand. You're teaching her that you're a man with purpose, focus, and a life that doesn't revolve around her. Consistency is crucial here. Boundaries only work if you stand by them. If she tries to test you by pulling back or playing games, don't falter. She needs to know that if she crosses the line, you're willing to walk away without hesitation. This is about respect. And if she can't honor your boundaries, then she's not worth your time. By standing firm, you're showing her that you've transformed into a high-value man who doesn't tolerate disrespect. The beauty of this transformation is that it's not just about getting her back. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to chase or compromise his self-respect. You are now the prize, the one in control, and the one who sets the terms. When she realizes that you're not swayed by her whims, she'll recognize that you're a challenge, a man who commands respect, a man she can't control. But here's the ultimate truth. The real power isn't in making her come back. It's in becoming the kind of man who can walk away if she doesn't rise to your level. This journey isn't just about fixing a relationship. It's about elevating yourself. And when you do that, when you grow into this high-value version of yourself, you'll find that your options expand. You won't just have her wanting your attention, you'll have choices, because people are naturally drawn to those who respect themselves. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into understanding attraction, respect, and the power of self-mastery. As we've explored, stepping back and letting your actions, or silence, speak can be the most powerful way to cultivate intrigue and maintain respect. Remember, true attraction doesn't come from constant pursuit. It comes from knowing your own worth and embracing the confidence to let others meet you at your level. Reflect on this. How often have you been drawn to someone because of their self-assuredness, their calm independence? That same strength can be your foundation. As you continue this journey of growth, challenge yourself to set boundaries, invest in your own improvement, and embrace detachment as a way to invite others toward you naturally. Attraction rooted in self-respect and self-control is lasting and genuine. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to hit the like button and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What part of this message was most impactful for you? And while you're here, be sure to watch the recommended videos on screen for more insights that could transform the way you approach attraction and self-worth. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.